Welcome to Freedom from Fire. I'm Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers with the Philadelphia Fire Department. And here at Freedom from Fire, we bring very interesting people to you. People who work in the community, people who partner with the Philadelphia Fire Department. But most importantly, people who are there to make sure that you can stay safe in your environment. One of the things I want to talk about is ensuring that you stay safe in your environment. And when you take the seat of safety, you can ensure that you and your family are absolutely safe from risk in your home, and that you can have an environment that's safe for work, play, and all of those things that you do in your home. First, the first leg of the stool is smoke alarms. You have to have working smoke alarms, one on every level of your home. You have to make sure that you test those smoke alarms to ensure that they're working properly. And here in the city of Philadelphia, you have to have now 10-year lithium battery powered smoke alarms to make sure that you have long-lasting protection for you and your family. The second leg in that seat of safety is planning a home fire escape plan, a home fire escape plan for you and your family, making sure that everyone knows how to get out once that smoke alarm goes off, what they should do. And that means knowing 2 ways out of each and every room. What to do once you exit the home, calling 911, going to that meeting place, that predetermined meeting place where you and your family can come together, and when those firefighters come, you can let them know everybody's out and you are all safe. That way, those firefighters are in there to make sure that they can save your property, get the fire out, and hopefully you can have a recovery and get back into living your life. Very important. The third leg in that seat of safety, of course, is the home fire safety checklist. The home fire safety checklist allows you to assess yourself against 30 different items in 6 different areas so that you'll know how to reduce the risk in your home, in your environment. You go down that safety checklist, you check yes or no. There are things that you have to do sometimes to change your behavior, and then other times, some things you have to do to change the structure in your home, like putting in a newer outlet, like making sure that you're safe when you're cooking, and making sure all burners are off, the stove is off when you leave the home if you're cooking, things like that. Candle safety, making sure that you blow candles out when you leave a room, and making sure that pets that in the area don't play with candles or don't go near the candles where they can start a fire. Different things like that. And then the last thing that you have, that last leg to make sure that you're secure on your seat of safety, is taking the home fire safety pledge, where you pledge that you will do all of these things, take care of all of these things to remove the risk from your family and ensure that you have safety in your home. Today, I have a very, very special guest. You're going to meet Lieutenant William Drennan in just a moment. But first, I'm going to show you a little clip about what he does for the Philadelphia Fire Department. So stand by.
Lieutenant William Drennan. I'm with Marine Operations Officer for the Philadelphia Fire Department. And what we do is like to just give you some basic overview of the duties of the Marine unit.
Built in 1950 in America's heyday. It's an 88-ton boat. It's 80 feet long. It has about a 20-foot beam. Good stable platform, work platform. And that's our new boat. That's the Independence. That was built in 2007. There's a lot of differences, just like the cars. Imagine a car from 1950 and a 2007 car. Computers. Everything in this boat's mechanical. Everything in that boat's electric. That's the main differences, but they both do the same thing.
Hi, I'm Milton Peak. I'm the fireboat engineer of Marine Unit 1, which is we're at Delaware and Washington Avenue inside the Coast Guard base. We've been here approximately since 1988. When we get the call, my partner, who's a pilot, we come down to the boat, and I'll proceed to go down to the engine room, start the generators up, and then start the main engines up. And then my partner will disconnect the shore power. Once the generator's online, then we'll be able to disconnect the shore power, and then we have everything running, then we wait for the companies that come on board. Once the companies come on board, we'll just take all the lines off the boat, and then we'll proceed to go wherever we've been dispatched to go to.
Today we're on board the Independence, 66-foot fast response boat, and the typical duties we run up from all the way our areas from Trenton all the way down to the Delaware Bay. The pilot is responsible for the boat and everything about this boat. The engineer has the engine room, and that's his job. In order for this boat to get underway, we need 4 firefighters to man the ship to make it so we can fight fires, and just to man the boat for safety reasons. So that's our land-based company, we like to call them.
I'm Jerry Murphy. I'm the fireboat engineer, responsible for everything you see. Everything from the small craft that we launch for people in distress, getting water through the nozzles. We pump water, we got nozzles up here. It's basically equivalent. You see fire trucks on the street, the guys that got the hose got into a house. It's basically equivalent to an 1 3/4 fire hose. That's the size nozzle that you would take into a house fire and put a house out. But what we're doing with it, as we're riding, you can see as we're riding along the piers, you might have a brush fire, you might have a car fire. So we're going to use that gun, and we have other appliances that we can also use for these things. It's all about fire suppression. And being on a fireboat, it's a multifaceted job, because you're not just putting out fires. You might be rescuing people, which is why we have this small boat that we use. You have people jumping off bridges trying to commit suicide, so we have to go out and do rescues. We do whatever we have to do. We're firemen. That's what firemen do. They do what they have to do.
My name is Bill Redmond, and I'm a fireboat pilot for the City of Philadelphia Fire Department. Everything on this side of the boat over here, I have throttles and controls of the jets. Throttles obviously are RPMs of the engines. These are 2 banks of jets, port and starboard, and basically it works from neutral, forward, and astern. Everything on this side of the boat is just duplicated on that side of the boat. And that allows me to pull up alongside of either side and be able to see down the side of the boat. So if, in other words, if I had to get over there and pull up to something on that side, I go to neutral here, throttle down, walk to that side, push the little yellow button that's blinking on this side. That side would start blinking, and I'd have control from that side of the boat.
The favorite thing on the boat is getting underway and helping people. I mean, I was in the Coast Guard for 4 years, and I enjoyed it. I like getting out there and helping people out on the river, because a lot of people go out there and they feel as if they got everything under control, and they don't. And they rely on us like they do on the land. They rely on us for help, and we got to come out and help them. And I feel as if I have a lot of experience, I can help them out. And all these guys down on the boat, they have a lot of experience, and that's what makes us different from all the other departments.
Excellent. And now, without any further ado, we have Lieutenant William Drennan, Marine Operations Officer for the Philadelphia Fire Department. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Freedom from Fire.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, how many years have you had on the Philadelphia Fire Department?
Well, I got 26 years on, and it's been an interesting career.
You've been to many stations all over the city?
Yes, sir. I've been started out downtown and scored 43 in Ladder 9, and then from there I went to the Heavy Rescue Unit when they put them in service back in '91, and then we moved up to Ladder 12, and then I went into the Frankfurt section, and then I had a short stay at Squad 72, and then I got promoted and went out to West Philly. And I've seen a lot, I've done a lot, and now I'm doing this job for the fire department as the Marine Operations Officer, and I feel as if I could do a good job for them.
No doubt. You've been doing a great job, and the qualifications for a Marine Operations Officer. What are some of those qualifications?
Well, when I was looking to see it, there was like talk about getting a job. I was just looking at the job, and as a young firefighter, I went down to the boat to become an engineer, and I realized that one day maybe I'd like to be, you know, the instructor up here. So I went out and I got my captain's license to prepare myself for this job. I was in the Coast Guard for 4 years, so I always had a love for a boat.
You were in the Coast Guard for 4 years?
Yes, sir.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I was in the Coast Guard, yeah. And so I always loved boating. I had a knack for it. And so then I went out and I furthered my education, got a 100-ton master license. And then I realized that this is what I want to do after the fire department. So then I went up and I approached Chief Craig Murphy. He's our special operations chief.
Yes.
And I asked him, there was a lieutenant retiring down there. If he needed anybody, I was more than welcome to go for an interview, not knowing what the process was. And he said, I told him my qualifications, and he said, there was no interview, it's done. He says, you're the guy I wanted down there, and I'm just trying to educate everybody, because you have all these novice boaters, and I'm just trying to make them educated mariners and trying to teach them everything that I know as far as, you know, safety out on a boat. It's a whole different animal as far as when you're pouring the water onto the fire, you got to start thinking about taking that water off the fire, out of the fire, because now you've got stability issues out there, and you can easily get hurt out, you know, on a boat fire as easy as you can in a house fire. You know, a house fire will collapse, where this will actually, when you lose your stability, the boat can roll and you guys can drown. So I just want to try to make people aware of that, you know, through our training.
Absolutely. So many different aspects of fighting the fire or managing the incident, no matter what it is.
Exactly.
On a boat. Confined space issues, the height issues, high angle rescue issues that could be there, so many different things.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get involved into a ship fire, that's a confined space, and you know, we were out there practicing. We're qualifying engineers and pilots now. So we went to an abandoned pier and we were putting water on it. And I told the guy, the pilot that was breaking in, I said, you know, do you still have a collapse zone out here? You know, you're looking at a 2-story building and you're getting closer to it. I said, we still have collapses out here. And now when you go to reverse, you're reversing the whole apparatus out. That thing could collapse on you. So people just think that they're in a boat, they're safe, but they got to still think that that's our job, is collapse zones, and everything is set up the same as it is on land. It's, you know, it's out in the water also. Absolutely.
Situational awareness
Absolutely.
is very, very important. So that training for the members, what would they get, say, starting that training session?
Well, we start the training sessions, and when we received the new boat, the Independence, in '07, the members that were assigned to the unit, they really didn't get a lot of hands-on experience. So it's more or less getting a brand new car, like the engineer Murphy was saying. It's all complicated. It's all computerized. Things can go down real easy, and they give you a book. You got to open up the book and try to find out what the problem is. We have a mechanic on duty from the shop, Reggie. Yeah. And we give Reggie a call, and Reggie's a good sharpshooter. He'll come down, he'll tell you on the phone what's wrong with it. If he has to, he'll come in, or the next day he'll handle the problem. But these guys need some training, and they were unable to, because when, you know, we can't get underway unless we have companies, and, you know, everybody has their issues, you know. So now we're trying to, with our training program that we have, the pilots and the engineers today, we can get out there and get underway, start playing with stuff, and now they're learning just as much as our cadets, but our candidates coming down for engineering.
Now, that's another point. The land-based companies, what about their training?
Well, they come down. Chief Grimes had Engine 11 and Engine 3 come down last weekend. And what we're trying to make them aware of, like a company officer, when you walk down the boat, you have the Zodiac or the Boston Whaler running in the water. Now, the company officer puts 2 firefighters in there. Now, he's not sure whether or not they want to be in there, but they have to go do their job, that's what we're paid to do. Somebody's in the water, we have to go out and get them. Put 2 firefighters in a boat, they take off, and now he jumps onto the Independence, and now they get underway. Well, a lot of times he's not he lost control of his men because they're at a distance that he can't really keep an eye on them, and he's worried and stuff. So all the chiefs were coming up to me asking me if we had some kind of training to make our guys in the boat safer, so our company officers and the chiefs all can be safe and feel warm and fuzzy about them going out there. Yeah. Because if you've never been on a smaller boat, the waves, you got wind conditions, nighttime conditions. So
yeah, that don't sound warm and fuzzy to me. Any rescue, right?
No, so it just makes them feel better. So we give them a little bit of education, and then they could take it on their own and learn a little bit more if they need to.
Well, Engine 46 is the Marine unit. So
correct.
What would they need to know, and what about that training? Kind of like give me just a brief overview of that.
Yeah, we started a boating safety course for them. I went and became a state certified instructor. So I give them a course, and they get a blue little card from the state of Pennsylvania, and it says that they had the boating safety certificate. They had the course that we give them. It's an 8-hour course that we give it in. We break it down into 4 hours. It's congested. Give them a 4-hour course. They're unsupervised. They don't have the pilots and the engineers to tell them about their boat. So I feel that's a bigger need, the 12th and the 13th Battalion, to give them a boating safety course. I go to the stations, give them a course, and then one day we all get the stations together and we launch the boat on a ramp, and then we explain everything that we just taught in the classroom, and then it makes them feel better when they go out there. Now they know not to stand up. They know what the life jackets mean, proper fuel. And they get educated.
All important.
It's all important, you're right.
We appreciate what you're doing and the job that you're doing for us. And I just say stay the course, and I too was in the Coast Guard.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant William Drennan, Marine Operations Officer for the Philadelphia Fire Department. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. I'm Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers with the Philadelphia Fire Department, and I'm joined by Mr. Cal Rudman, philanthropist and president of the Cal and Lucille Rudman Foundation, also honorary Fire Commissioner of the Philadelphia Fire Department. Together with Drexel University's Antoinette Westphal College of Media Arts and Design, we are able to present to you the Philadelphia Fire Safety App. This app can be accessed through your desktop or laptop computer, but what's really convenient is you can get it on your smartphone. This app is loaded with useful information covering a vast array of subjects relevant to you and anyone who has ever had a question about the Philadelphia Fire Department or emergency services they can provide. Let me tell you about some of the features on the app. There's a fire safety checklist, a list of over 25 questions that help you check to see if your home or apartment is safe. There's an emergency preparedness section dealing with tornadoes, hurricanes, terrorism, and even earthquakes. There's a dorm safety section. This gives you general information about safe dorm living and what you should be thinking about should the fire alarm sound in your building. There's a section about the emergency services that the fire department provides, along with EMS and CPR tips, and a very handy hospital locator. The Red Cross entry can give you immediate, on-the-spot, step-by-step treatments for common first aid emergencies. And don't think our information app doesn't consider every member of the family. There's even an entry for and about your pets. Today, I'm just giving you a snippet of what you will find with our new fire safety app. What I really enjoy telling you is it's all free. Cal, you've been pretty patient. What would you like to tell our friends?
Hey, fire safety app, stay alive with that.
That's right, Cal. To get the new fire safety app, go to freedomfromfire.com/FSapp. Again, that's freedomfromfire.com/FSapp. And oh yeah, did I tell you it's free?
Well, I heard that.
Welcome back to Freedom from Fire. I'm Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers, and I would like to introduce to you one of our very important people out there, a fire safety representative. And today I have with you Mr. Kamar Johnson. Welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Well, what made you become a fire safety representative?
Well, I was looking to volunteer, and I was doing a little volunteer with different organizations like that. So I said, well, I want to volunteer with some organization that's more consistent. So I said, well, the firemen, right, they're like the most courageous individuals that I know. Anybody that would like unconsciously run in a house, right, burning a house to bring people out, stuff like that. So I admire you folks, right? I said, well, I'll be a fire safety representative. So that's what made me want to do that. And as a result of doing that, I said, well, maybe I can expand the program a little more, you know, with like teaching classes. Even though I never attended the fire academy or anything, yet what I do, I help people understand the fire safety literature that's available to the general public.
Well, that's very important. Just the translation sometimes, and that contact, that personal contact, those are the things that we need. And also the contact with the officers at your local fire safety and education district. So that interaction with them, it's been a good experience for you?
Yes, it has been, because I've taught classes where we taught people that were mentally challenged. We did senior citizens where we had children in the neighborhood assist them doing the stop, drop, and roll, where, you know, they help them down, roll them over, pick them up, right? And the senior citizens, they really enjoyed that, you know, because it was like, wow, these children is helping us do things when children normally don't do things like that in this day and time. And I also did classes where we had interpreters, with like some of the Asian people, where we had young teenage Asians, right, that would interpret what we were doing so we could go through the motions with them.
Oh, excellent. Now tell me, what are some of the things, working with all of the different groups, what are some of the things that you've learned?
Well, I've learned that, like, there's a lot of foreigners in this country. They come from different countries, and they're just glad to be here, and fire safety is the furthest thing from on their mind. So, you know, we want these people to live, so what I do, you know, like I said, I have interpreters, and, you know, we teach these people because they need to learn fire safety, because they're not into it, they're just glad to be here. And they don't have smoke detectors, so I teach classes. I was getting smoke detectors from the fire department, yet you had to attend the class for an hour and a half, learning how to install the smoke detector and everything, so then you were able to do it yourself. And see, now we're in the process of like just installing smoke detectors for senior citizens, because a lot of them, like you said earlier, they can't get up on ladders and things of that nature, so we come and install them for them. And then now that we're using the 10-year lithium batteries, right, you know, this makes it better, because people forget, especially
Absolutely.
senior citizens.
Well, tell me something. You've learned a lot, you've talked to a lot of folks, you've been out there. Now, what would you do to make the fire safety representative program better if you had the opportunity?
Well, what I would do is I would empower the volunteer fire safety representatives, right? Give them more power to be like more assertive in their community, instead of just checking to see if you have smoke detectors or if you got exposed wiring. We're like, we would like say run a block fire drill. And every block fire drill, you would add on like 2 or 3 reps, because it would take at least 4 people to run the fire drill effectively. And this way, it would get people more on the same page.
I like that concept. So get the whole block out at one time.
Block at one time.
Oh, that's all right.
You know, where everybody come out and they would like stand in front of their house, not in the street. So this way, we wouldn't have to block off the street, where the fire department wouldn't have to be there to supervise or anything like that, where you could still be on call for people that need you. And so at the end of the fire drill, we would give people some literature that's from the fire department that they could study. Then every month when they do it, we would give them some more literature, so they could start to develop home escape plans in their own homes, you know. And another thing would be like people that's like handicapped, where they can't really like get out the house yet. When you first start doing the drills, they would be accounted for even though they couldn't get out the house just as long as they made it to the door.
Well, I will tell you what, you will be hearing from me again. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamar Johnson. And right now, I would like for you to help me give the fire safety pledge. Please raise your right hand. I love my family, and I'm responsible for their safety.
Responsible for their safety.
Therefore, I pledge to follow.
Therefore, I pledge the following.
I pledge to have at least one working smoke alarm on each level of my home.
I pledge to have at least one working smoke alarm on each level of my home.
I pledge to test my alarms as recommended and replace my alarms with new lithium-powered batteries when needed.
I pledge to test my smoke alarms as recommended and replace my alarms with new lithium-powered batteries when needed.
Say it with me. I pledge that every family member will sleep with their bedroom door closed. I pledge to develop and practice a home escape plan. I pledge that if I cannot afford smoke alarms, I will call the non-emergency number 311 or visit www.phila.gov/311 on the World Wide Web. All this I do solemnly pledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner, for having me.
Well, thank you, and again, freedom from fire. I'm Fire Commissioner Lloyd Ayers. Stay safe.